Previously on Justice League Dark.
Look, it's simple. Reanimate a dead body. Take him for a little spin so we can get past the security guards at his penthouse suite. Use his hand as a key to the safe where the books of magic are stashed. Save the world, blah, 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 and then we're all done. It's simple.
You're serious about this?
The books are powerful. They can help you, hurt you, save the world, or destroy it. We can't let the books fall into Woodrew's hands.
So, who else is in our crew?
Atana Zatara, Mistress of Magic!
I got close to you once, John, and paid a heavy price for it. I don't want anything to do with you.
I sense a proposition.
I help you get the books, stop John Constantine, and you help me become a man.
You're looking at the bright new team that's going to save the world.
You save the world.
We could use a smart man like you, Jason Blood. Someone who knows all about the books, how to read them.
Etrigan!
Is that a yes then?
I don't even like you.
Oh, we don't have to actually like each other. We just have to save the world together, that's all.
The New York City streets. That night, there's a blizzard in the middle of summer.
His name is Woodrew.
Jason Blood's vintage Bentley weaves through Times Square, crammed with tourists staring up at the oddly falling snow.
He's after the books too. Hell-bent on destroying civilization with it.
Blood drives. Constantine sits shotgun, a bundle on his lap, and Boston floats in the back seat.
How does he intend to do that?
A devious plot, of course. Project Inanna.
Inanna? The Sumerian goddess of love and warfare, Inanna?
Constantine smiles, turning to Boston.
I told you he was our man.
You could have just Googled that.
Here we are.
The car comes to a halt outside a dark blue steel skyscraper. The crew exits the vehicle and enters the building, approaching the front desk.
Hello. What you reading there, mate?
The security guard, a man in his 30s, mean-looking, like a busted-up heavyweight boxer. He looks up from behind a newspaper headline. Dr. Fate, Pandora, the Phantom Stranger, and Black Orchid all stand behind a podium. It reads, Shadow Pact successfully foils terrorist attack.
Ah, the costumes. Maybe it's time for another crew to step up. Show 'em how it's really done, eh?
He turns to his team. They stare vacantly at him.
We're with Vertigo Security Systems, a Mr. Carl Carnahan, up in the penthouse suite. Yeah, he called us to take a look at his wall unit. Seems his alarms keep going off in the middle of the night, so...
Mr. Carnahan, is dead.
Constantine blinks, turning back to the guard.
Wow. News travels fast. Okay, we're not really with Vertigo Security.
I guessed that.
But we need to get up to his flat, immediately. So, if you could just buzz us in, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
The guard is immovable. Constantine turns to Boston, gesturing back to the guard.
Are you gonna,
A minute later, the enormous guard is striding down the hallway. He dwarfs Constantine, who has his trench collar up, and Jason Blood in his three-piece suit and walking cane. They make quite the motley crew.
Here we are, gents.
The suite door swings open, Boston whistling in approval. The place is a luxury modernist suite, all glass and steel, a panoramic window wrapped around them at a full 360 degrees.
Some spread.
Manhattan's twinkling skyline stretches out from every direction. In the library, Jason Blood browses a gallery of antiquities and priceless art. Nose glasses on, he leans on a bookcase and reads.
Chekhov's Collected Stories. First printing. American edition.
Translated by Constance Garnett. Some people complain about her rhythms, but I still favour it.
Constantine hovers over his shoulder, and Jason cracks a small smile.
As do I, John. You surprise me.
Constantine reaches over Jason's shoulder and pulls the volume out. The bookcase moves, a secret door, revealing a steel staircase spiraling down into a hidden concrete room.
I'm full of surprises.
The three of them make their way down the staircase that leads to a tiny concrete room. They approach a steel door with a digital fingerprint reader. John unwraps the little bundle he's been carrying.
Ugh. It smells god-awful.
Carnahan's pale, severed hand. Constantine takes the stiff index finger and presses it to the reader. Nothing. He presses it harder. Still nothing. He tries another finger. Nothing.
You gotta be shitting me.
I don't understand.
Constantine blankly stares down at Carnahan's left hand and tosses it down to the floor.
You got a plan B, genius?
If I hit the nipple.
Tumblers disengage and the safe door pops open with a click.
Right on time.
Zatanna, standing at the foot of the stairs. She wears a spectacular black leather suit.
Meow.
No funny business. You hear me? I don't want any of your lies, your schemes, none of your con jobs. I'm here to help out where I can, release my father, and get back to my normal life. Are we clear on that?
All clear.
I'm not kidding, John. No lies.
Scout's honor.
That was awesome.
Thanks.
Gentlemen, I'd like you all to welcome our newest member to the...
Look at this place.
Everyone has already moved on, passing through the 3-foot-thick steel door and inching down an impossibly long corridor. A grow room, walking through rows and rows of marijuana plants, bright under hanging fluorescent lights.
There's a lot of magic.
So that's how Carl made his fortune.
And they all move into another penthouse suite, a single room, enormous, taking up the entire 74th floor. A parlor reserved for the hidden, hardcore stuff. Framed illustrations of pictograms, sigils, pentagrams, and lining the walls are jars and jars filled with disfigured fetuses and animal anomalies, amber lit from below.
Fun guy.
Here we are.
Levitating in the center of the giant room, encircled in a red electric protective globe of some kind, are the books of magic. Ancient, weathered, their hard wooden covers inscribed with archaic, cuneiform characters in bas-relief.
It actually exists.
They all expectantly approach, Boston going in to touch the globe.
Don't touch that!
He's zapped. The guard's body blown back clear across the room, leaving Boston floating where the guard just stood. Behind him, the guard slams against the wall, out cold.
No touching. Got it.
Thoughts, Z?
John and Zatanna circle the giant red electric bubble together.
It looks like some kind of
Mystic shield.
binding spell.
A second guess. Poor dear Carl was a more accomplished mage than I thought. There's only one solution.
From a shoulder holster, he unsheathes a glowing gold dagger.
Etheric spear? The books are bound by 7 seals, John. Serious old world shit. I wouldn't use that if I were you.
Watch and learn, love.
John, I'm serious. Do not.
He pinch grips the handle and expertly chucks it overhand, light and fast. There's an explosion, blindingly bright, veins of lightning shooting out like electric fingers, grabbing John, Zatanna, Blood, and Boston, lifting them all off their feet high in the air. And they're all dropped to the floor hard, left scratching their heads in an awkward silence.
You want me to take the lead, or?
Be my guest.
I say we try a scanning spell.
Brilliant.
The two of them get to work, standing opposite of each other, squaring off. They reach out slowly, tentatively touching fingertips. A blue neon flame ignites between them. It's small at first, rising, searching, sensual, enveloping them both in a neon embrace that spreads throughout the room, slinking between Jason, then Boston, feeling everyone up. It's getting uncomfortable, as if John and Z are doing tantric magic. John and Zatanna abruptly awaken, quickly sucking in air. The electric red globe dissolves into nothing, and the books of magic fall to the floor with heavy thuds. John and Z are left simply staring at each other.
Get a room, you two.
They all warily approach one of the books. Jason takes a knee, slips on his nose glasses, absently touching its cover.
Cuneiform. Written Mesopotamia.
Can you read it?
I can. It says, The Books of Magic.
Got that right, at least.
And the subtitle, Spells and Incantations.
What does the other book say?
But before Jason can answer, the lights begin to flicker.
Ah, shit, not again.
I'll make you all a deal. Join me and watch civilization burn.
They all slowly turn to where the voice is coming from. The grow room. Tall, bright marijuana stalks start to violently sway. The plants moving together with purpose, intertwining, weaving into a giant pod creature. Its leaves darkening. The lights blink out, leaving them all in pitch darkness.
Listen, mates. Who the hell do you think you are, crashing our party?
Constantine snaps at his Zippo, Woodrew's face appearing across the flame.
I am the Floronic Man.
He's a horrifying sight. 11 feet tall, stark naked, mildew and moss are the only things covering him. Diseased bark for skin, spotted with canker rot, dead brown leaves for hair, centipedes, beetles, and cockroaches crawl throughout his body. His eyes are a glowing red, pulsing with each heartbeat.
The Flora what?
The Floronic Man roars, a thundering cry, the sound of 1,000 open graves, and all at once the jars shatter. Pickled, deformed fetuses spill out onto the floor, and a tempest of black flies enters the room from the corridor.
I got a hot tip for you, Johnny.
Damn it, kid. Whose side are you on?
The cloud circles Zatanna for a moment, a dark, buzzing embrace.
Your little blue boy has made a calculated career move.
The black cloud of flies zip toward the deformed animals and baby fetuses, filling their torsos, reanimating them.
Now, feel my power!
The monster fetuses arise from their pool of slime, their big devilish eyes blinking, their faces turning in the opposite direction.
Great baby in Vunchi.
No, I reject that.
The moaning and groaning baby flesh puppets surround them.
Blood, grab the books.
Jason grabs one heavy book, struggling with another one.
Gang?
They all look at each other. Silent nods. This is it. They get to work. Boston jumping into the security guard again, bolting upright and grabbing the closest Invunche by the neck. They're Siamese twins. At least they were, until he snapped them in two. Zatanna waves her hands and strikes a pose.
Jag är upp.
A backward spell that casually tossed two Invunche aside, their bodies slamming against the wall with a splat. She turns, seeing the Floronic Man raise a gargantuan oak tree fist high above Jason Blood's head.
Jason!
He smashes the floor as Jason rolls out of the way. He springs to his feet, turns, and swings at the Floronic Man with the heavy book, knocking him back.
What the hell are you doing?
John stands still, holding an amulet before him, a red ruby in its center. It dangles from his utility necklace.
For Nungliai, Maglunyafa.
The ruby begins to glow red, just as the Floronic Man reaches for Constantine, his oak fist wrapping around his body.
John, no!
Floronic Man crushes him with one giant squeeze. John's bones dislocate, his neck and back are sickeningly broken, and with all the effort he can muster, he utters one final breath.
Turn about.
Floronic Man tilts his head, and all the pain that Constantine just suffered at Floronic Man's hand is sucked into the red ruby, turned around, and shot back at Floronic Man. His bones crack, his eyes bulge wide, and he collapses in a heap, like a marionette strings being cut.
Jesus. What was that?
Turnabout spell, love. I'm rubber, you're glue. How are your mates doing? We better leave off quick. That spell only lasts a few minutes.
I got the books.
And the crew claws their way through the Invunche, smashing faces, cracking skulls, making a path for the staircase. They spiral up the stairs backwards, fighting off the Invunche.
No!
He drops a book, and he goes tumbling down the stairs, its heavy binding squishing baby Invunche on the way down.
Shit! What have you done, Blood?
I can get it!
But he can't. The book is overrun by baby Invunche, skittering away with it, just as the Floronic Man appears, and they're all back in the library. All four of them throwing their backs into shutting the bookcase door.
It's locked, but not for long. This way.
Out in the hallways, the team races towards an open elevator, the corridor lined with long rows of bright potted ferns. They all hop in the elevator, Zatanna stabbing the L button.
The book was too heavy. I couldn't.
Edrican wouldn't have dropped it.
We have the one book, though, right?
We need both for them to work, Jason. You know that.
The doors aren't closing. She stabs the button again. Nothing. Her spell does nothing.
I don't know why.
Once again, nothing. At the end of the long hallway, behind the suite's locked doors, the sound of rumbling footballs getting louder.
Come on.
She stabs at it again. The potted ferns begin to weave together.
Should we take the stairs?
The penthouse door comes crashing down, the hall filled with creatures big and small, moving in towards the elevator.
Z, love, please close the door.
Still nothing. The ferns are intertwining, purposeful, becoming one.
It's stuck. Some kind of psychic static is keeping it open. Force field.
The potted ferns have suddenly twisted into a big creature, mutating into the Floronic Man.
Punks are rude!
And finally, the doors are closing. The Floronic Man fills the hallway, galloping towards the closing doors of the elevator, red eyes bulging, the hall shaking with each step, the crew's taking a step back as the doors close. A convex bulge of the Floronic Man's open-mouthed face blows back everyone. And mercifully, the elevator starts to descend. All 75 stories of the New York City towers. They all stand there, breathing hard.
Oh, that wasn't so bad.
The elevator car rattles. Something has landed on the roof. Boston pulls at the security guard's Glock, blindly firing it into the ceiling. The service hatch banging open. Dead Animal and Vunche fall into the cart, drooling and oozing at the gang's feet. Boston unleashes several more rounds for good measure. They all look up into the elevator shaft, where the Invunche are swinging between the cables, crawling down after them. At the top of the shaft, on the 75th floor, the Floronic Man leans out. He grabs the cables with an oak fist, pulling them into a bunch before biting down, attempting to sever the cables.
I got this.
Boston jumps up, holding onto the lip of the service hatch, and effortlessly pulls himself up onto the top of the elevator cage. Feet firmly planted, surfing the elevator, he looks up and is instantly overwhelmed by the Invunche. One cable breaks, more sparks showering down on Boston. He breaks free, shaking the creatures loose. He looks back up at the Floronic Man, narrowing his sights, and Boston jumps from the security guard's body, the white-faced, red-costumed ghost, soaring up towards Woodrue. The other cable breaks free, and that's it. The elevator plummets. 5 floors, 10 floors, 15 floors.
Pots Rotelevi! Pots Rotelevi!
20 floors, 25 floors, 30. Gaining speed. Boston soars upwards. The elevator soars downwards. He's getting closer and closer to the Floronic Man. Just as the cart is descending faster and faster, they're all done for.
Pots Rotelev! Pots Rotelev!
The car comes to a sudden halt, as if cushioned, floating.
Whew, hey, I did it.
But thick roots wiggle their way into the car, quickly filling it.
Woodrue.
But is it Woodrue? The tendrils shoot past the crew, smashing through the cart's roof, wrapping themselves around the Invunche, strangling them, snapping their necks one by one. And the vines race up the elevator shaft, chasing after Deadman as he races for the Floronic Man. Faster and faster. Deadman leaps into and possesses the Floronic Man's body. Inside Floronic Man's cracked mind, Boston's tiny red body floats somewhere in the cosmic void.
Oh no.
The elevator. The gang bracing themselves as the elevator car is gently laid on the lobby floor. A silence. Then the service hatch bangs open. The security guard's face pokes into the elevator car.
You mind telling me what the fuck is going on here?
The elevator door slides open, and Swamp Thing looms before them. He's a giant humanoid plant elemental, 8 feet tall, soulful orange eyes, moss and leaves for skin, rocks for bones. This is Abby's boyfriend, the monster of the swamp.
Swampy, you're a sight for sore eyes.
He took Abby.
And with a boom, the Floronic Man's immense body lands before the Swamp Thing, the lobby trembling from the impact, an even stare.
Alec Holland.
Where is she?
Prehensile vines reach for Floronic Man, their spreading fingers trapping him in a prison of woven branches.
Where's Abby?
You sense my triumph.
What have you done with her?
It was you, Alec. You were my link with the web, the planet's lifeblood. You showed me the way. You have made me as powerful as you are.
The cage fingers squeeze Floronic Man tight, choking him.
Where is Abby?
Abby is a gift.
Floronic Man touches one of the cage fingers, canker rot spreading, black, varicose veins moving through Swamp Thing's arms.
She's an offering, a sacrifice to the heavens so the world will fall.
The rot turns Swamp Thing's green leaves yellow, then orange, then brown, transforming him into an autumn hue.
Alec?
Constantine and the gang appear behind Floronic Man.
Share this moment with me, this harvest. Return the planet to its purest state, to calm and silence.
Floronic Man's wooden cage wilts away, its leaves floating on the floor.
Wake up!
Floronic Man lunges for Swamp Thing, grabbing him by the neck. The rot spreads through the veins on Swamp Thing's face.
Humanity turned its back on you, Alec. Turn your back on them. Let's cut off the cancer of civilization together. It's polluters. It's toxic wasters. It's greedy colonists. Let's burn civilization down like blighted wood.
And just as Swamp Thing has nearly surrendered, his eyes pop open, filled with a white, searing light. It blows Floronic Man backwards, his body slamming against the lobby wall, pinned there by Swamp Thing's thick branches.
You are hurting the planet.
Me? That's not true.
You are ill, mad. You poison the earth with your desire for power.
You're just jealous. I, the pupil, have surpassed you, the teacher.
My formula was created to heal the planet. You have never understood that. You have perverted it.
Traitor!
Rot black vines explode from Floronic Man's mouth, the impact blowing Swamp Thing backwards, smashing through the front entrance of the tower, skidding through Times Square, plowing through traffic, knocking over cars, uprooting street lamps, and Swamp Thing slams up against a cement truck, nearly pulverizing him into a pile of wet, fetid weeds, stopping him cold. Floronic Man appears outside the tower on all fours. He unleashes a thunderous roar and charges at Swamp Thing, the pavement cracking. They lock together, light and dark, life and death. A cosmic struggle in the middle of Times Square, grappling with each other. Floronic Man shoves at Swamp Thing, slamming him up against a movie theater, a sudden violent bloom of flowers. Swamp Thing shakes it off. He runs for Floronic Man, tackling him, and Floronic Man's body slams up against the New York City courthouse, its columns a sudden ruin of rust and corrosion. The gang are on the street, and the baby and Vunche are back.
Turn into Edrican, damn it!
No!
They move in a tight circle, their backs to each other. Jason Blood clubs in Vunche with his cane. Zatanna shouts backward spells to toss them aside, and John waves an amulet to ward off the rest. You see their rhythm together, their chemistry. They make a good team. NYPD helicopters have arrived now, buzzing around Times Square, crisscrossing spotlight beams.
I am the pain, the bitterness!
Floronic Man claws at Swamp Thing's torso, shredding his chest into grass clippings, dandelion pollen everywhere.
I am one with the wilderness!
Floronic Man lifts Swamp Thing into the air and snaps his wooden spine like a stick. He's thrown over the square, tumbling head over heels, leaves and weeds and moss shucking off him as he soars across the city, his bulking body dissolving layer by layer until there's nothing left, except for a single seed that plops into a fountain of water in the center of the square.
What just happened?
I'd stand back if I were you.
The water begins to boil, bubbling over, churning before an explosion of green, a confetti of flowers, leaves, moss, and bamboo stalks shoot out from the round fountain, like spears, stabbing each and every Invunche through the brain pan, shooting out far and wide, and finally stabbing Floronic Man. He falls on a single bamboo blade and pitches forward, confused. Boston Brand suddenly rises from the heap, bewildered, and Floronic Man's giant body breaks into chunky pieces, shrivels up, and scatters, like terrified, scurrying insects. Times Square is a confusion of greenery and rot. Some buildings are covered in a carpet of moss, other buildings collapse from corrosion and dust. Tourists walk in a daze. Boston floats down, landing in the middle of the crew.
You alright, mate? Looks like you've seen a ghost.
I need a drink.
That night, Boston, Zatanna, Blood, and now Swamp Thing all reluctantly follow Constantine, their default leader, into a dark, trash-strewn alley. Constantine stops before a brick wall spray-painted with graffiti that reads, "Who watches the Watchmen?"
John conned you into this too, huh?
I'm only doing this for Abby.
Okay, got it. Just making conversation.
I liked your TV special.
John pulls out an asymmetrical leather headpiece, a pair of mystical glasses. He slips them on, peering through the crystal lenses. Though only Constantine can see it, a dimensional door appears in the wall, a neon sign blinking above it, the Oblivion Bar.
No one will bother us here. And they've got some great sliders.
He pushes the door open and the group enters this interdimensional pub. They pass Detective Chimp, still hunched over a banana daiquiri, still drunk. Past Animal Man, chatting it up with Shade the Changing Man, and moving to the bar's private room. Eddie Deacon stands outside, flipper arms crossed, acting the bouncer. He nods at them, lowers the rope, and lets them inside. The motley crew squeezes into a corner booth, leaning into the single book of magic laid out before them.
Since Jason wouldn't turn into Edrican,
I have no control over him.
it's safe to assume Woodrue, or the Moronic Man, has the other book.
Which book did we get then?
Jason slips on his reading glasses, searching the blank cover.
There is no title.
Go ahead and open it.
Jason warily reaches for the book, takes a deep breath, and it won't open. He lifts it up, shakes it. Still nothing.
I don't understand.
You're the antiquity scholar.
You're the magician.
Zatanna tries to open it. Still nothing.
We need to know Woodrue's plan, like yesterday.
I know his plan.
All heads turn to Boston Brand, hunched over the book. He looks weary, old even. He stares in the mid-distance.
I was locked inside his mind.
What did you see?
It was... I wanted to stay.
Where?
In his mind.
They all look at each other.
I was tempted. I could have stayed there. Forever.
Tell us, Boston, what spooks a ghost?
I couldn't see anything at first. Just a thick fog. I was surrounded by nothingness. Dread. A cold indifference. My body was just in that void. Alone. Trying to push through the boiling gray clouds. I heard a voice, saw a woman's face forming in the clouds. She was beautiful, ethereal. Her eyes hollow, mouth stretching, inviting, calling to me. I was sucked into her open mouth, disappearing into pitch blackness. A blue flame lit up the darkness, illuminating an otherworldly woman. Madame Xanadu. She sat before a crystal ball. I sat across from the fortune teller. It seemed like we were in this tight, small wagon. One from the circus, you know. Yeah, and this woman, she tempted me. A tarot card snapped down on the table. The magician, with an image of Zatanna. Another card, the monster, with an image of Swamp Thing. The demon, Jason Blood. The Joker, Constantine. And finally, the final card. The human. And beneath it was an image of me. But before I was a ghost. She tempted me with a vision of the future, but all I could do was look at her confused. She just smiled and rubbed the crystal ball, a scene taking shape within the blue light. And it was us, Madame Xanadu and I at the circus, strolling under the archway. She was holding my hand, my human hand. I couldn't help but to hold my forearm before my eyes, rotating it, feeling it. I pressed my hand to my lips, smelling what was my flesh. I could feel tears welling up in my eyes. I was human again. I took a deep breath, smelled the popcorn, felt the crisp breeze, feeling Xanadu press herself into my body. As we walked, I noticed a banner. The Congress of Freaks. On it were images of Swamp Thing, Etrigan, and Zatanna. John stood outside the tent entrance, barking out some bullshit nonsense.
Come see the most astounding aggregation of marvels and monstrosities ever gathered together.
Then I was tempted with a vision of the past. A puppet theater with shadow puppets, a paper cutout of a woman. It was spooky. Like it was from a child's imagination. It was a goddess. Her name was Inanna.
Project Inanna.
Let him finish.
She was in love with a king. He was another puppet, one who expertly battled a four-headed monster, sword in one hand, shield in the other. The king's name was Gilgamesh. Beside him was his best friend, Enkidu, a wild man with knotty hair and red eyes. Took over the fight and wrestled the monster to the ground. They were the original dynamic duo. Like that bat freaking Robin. Battled monsters, went to hell and back, and conquered worlds. However, the goddess Inanna was jealous of their friendship. She made him face their most dire foe, this giant bull, Gugulana, the bull of heaven. Every step this creature took brought chaos and destruction on Earth. Cities crumbled, mountains collapsed as it charged at the heroes. It created a form of rapture, a tear in the cosmic fabric. Gilgamesh and Enkidu squared off with the bull of heaven, raising their swords to the sky. They fought, and the bull died. After Gilgamesh and Enkidu vanquished the bull, its bones were secured in an underground city, a secret necropolis in the east. And with that, I realized the vision of the past was a vision of the future. I bolted to my feet, but Madame Xanadu grabbed my hand, pressing her body into mine again. She begged me to stay with her, tempted me to live as a human. With her. Forever. All I had to do was give up the fight and surrender. But I couldn't. Woodrue intends to sacrifice Abby, using the spells from the Book of Magic to resurrect Gugulana and destroy civilization.
eh? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Why, Abby?
He's drawing you out. Woodrow knew that you'll come after Abby, trying to save her. He wants you to join him in the destruction of the human world. If you won't, then he'll destroy you. You're his only real threat.
Do you know where the bull is buried?
Desert somewhere? I don't know.
Which brings us back to...
The Book of Magic. It sits on the table before them, locked shut. Jason slips his nose glasses on, swiping at his iPhone.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm just going to Google books of magic and see what comes up. Why not?
The gang just sat there, watching him swipe at some apps. This goes on for a long while before...
Okay, well, according to Wikipedia, the books of magic don't really exist. But, in legend, it says here that no mere mortal can rightfully claim the books unless one is purest of heart, nor of the darkest. So there's that.
Well, it's something, Boston. Alec, you're both hell-bent on revenge, so neither of you are pure of heart. Jason, you're half demon, so...
Jason Blood looked up from his phone, slipped off his glasses and turned away, almost hurt.
We all know where I stand. And that leaves us with...
Everyone slowly turns to face Zatanna.
I am not pure. Trust me.
Oh, trust me, love. I know.
Yeah, you both knock boots. We get it. We're running out of time, you two.
So what am I supposed to do?
They all silently shrug. Zatanna sighs, leans forward, and inspects the book's contours. Her hands move over the cover's edges.
Gubet nipple.
Nothing happens. She lifts the edge of the book, peering beneath it.
Oxabitha nipple.
The book's cover slowly opens, like a trap door, and all 4 panels inside slide and reconfigure, gears whirring, lying bare. A portal. An opening to an impossibly deep, dark well, lined with volumes and volumes of all kinds of ancient books, reaching down into an abyss.
Brilliant.
I am pure of heart. How embarrassing.
We're looking for a map.
To where Woodrow is taking Abby.
The burial site of the Bull of Heaven, Uruk, Mesopotamia, where the story of Gilgamesh takes place.
A map of a dead city, eh?
Zatanna leaned forward, calling down into the well. Gears whir again, and like a cosmic waiter, a blank tablet suddenly appears, rising from the abyss on a moving shelf. The tablet halts before their eyes, presenting itself.
Look here. It reads, Cities of the Dead.
Okay, so the rest of it is blank.
No, this is not a blank tablet. This is a container. Listen. Inside, I bet you, are maps to all the world's dead cities, including Uruk, Mesopotamia.
How'd you open it?
Don't look at me. I got us this far.
John nods, rubbing the stubble on his chin as he thinks. He assesses the clay tablet, nods to himself again, and his hands start to move over its edges, muttering something, weaving a spell. Then, he wraps his hands around its corners, lifts the tablet, and smashes it into the table, over and over again, everyone backing away, shielding their faces from flying bits of clay, and it finally shatters to pieces, revealing a stack of yellowed vellum pages, ancient maps.
Okay, then.
Jason Blood flips through all the worn maps of dead cities.
Babylon? No. Lost City of Z? Nope. Atlantis? No. Okay, here we go. Uruk, the secret city here, northwest of the Zagros Mountains.
Zagros? Isn't that...
Iraq.
Aren't we, at war with them?
Woodrow may already know where the burial site is. Who knows what information the other book contains?
I can only apologize so many times.
We must get to Abbey.
We're gonna need a plane. An unmarked jet that can make a transatlantic flight and drop us off radar in the hot zone of Iraq. Any ideas?
I think I know where to get one.
A runway. A hot pink private jet sits idle. The glittering word Zatanna is emblazoned across the plane's body.
Real inconspicuous.
What? You got any better rides?
I sent the coordinates to a colleague of mine in Iraq, Abbas Mehdi. He's an old friend from university, an archaeologist. He'll be able to help us on the ground there.
Good work, mate.
The gang strides across the tarmac together, everyone climbing up the stairs into the jet. Everyone except Swamp Thing.
John Constantine.
He plucks a tiny green leaf from his torso, handing it to John.
Take this. Keep it moist. I will meet you there.
Say, Alec, why don't you come along, mate? Join us for the ride. Catch up. I know things have been a bit strained between us ever since,
Listen. It hasn't been easy on Abby. With who I am. Who I became.
I know.
I abandoned her. I thought it was the best thing. She was vulnerable. You took advantage of her.
I know. I'm sorry. I was wrong.
You need to understand this, John. I'm only helping you to get Abby back.
I'm afraid this is more than that. This is all about you, Alec. If you don't help us save the human world, there won't be any humans left for you to resent or love.
Let's go.
I'm glad you're part of the team. I think we're doing a pretty good job this far. What do you think? For our first outing, I think we're doing a smash-up job, my opinion.
Constantine hustles up the stairs into the plane, Swamp Thing watching after him, deep in thought. Inside the jet, a fat black fly lazily buzzes through the cabin, heading for a single overhead light above John and Zatanna.
So who hired you? Be honest.
What do you mean?
Someone must be paying you a lot of hard cash to get the books, right? So who is it? Argus? Star Labs? LexCorp?
No, Z. No one is paying me.
The fly lands on a leather and brass travel trunk. It slips inside, finding a stack of maps wrapped in twine.
You can't possibly be doing this from the goodness of your own heart. What's your angle?
The fly slips out of the travel trunk, past John and Zatanna, and makes its way to the cockpit where it slips inside.
Here's a question. What if there is no angle? What if I'm simply a better person than you thought I was, Z?
That's a big what if.
She smiles. They clearly miss each other.
I'm sorry, Z. For everything.
You on some kind of apology tour, John? Guilt finally eating you apart?
She smiles again. He doesn't, causing her to soften.
You know, you were like a son to him. The son he never had.
He was a great man, a great teacher. I made a promise to him that I would never get close to you.
A promise we broke together.
Had I kept to me promise, he wouldn't have followed me to that seance.
A seance. We were so dumb, so naive.
And when things went bad, your father, he sacrificed himself to protect us. He knew we were just stupid kids in over our heads. I always keep me promises now.
She looks down at her hands, John touching her arm.
You know, your father used to say to me about magic. He'd say, you trick the universe into giving you something you didn't earn. You pay for it. You always pay for it.
Then why haven't you, John?
I pay for it.
Across the aisle, Boston and Blood sit across from each other in the dark.
What is that you're always holding?
The Philosopher's Stone.
Like a lucky charm or something?
Something. It belonged to a young apprentice of Merlin's.
Merlin? The old wizard Merlin? Like from the Camelot days?
When Camelot fell, a demon warrior bound itself to the apprentice, cursed him for millennia.
Blood closed his eyes, absently rubbing the stone. Boston stopped, realizing the young apprentice was Jason.
That's hundreds of years, ain't it?
Thousands of years.
He leans back, rubbing the stone again with a sigh.
Thousands.
Suddenly, there's a loud slam as the plane tilts sharply, as if something's landed on the wing. The travel trunk slams against the opposite side of the cabin. The gang sits there, looking blankly at each other.
That didn't sound good.
Justice League Dark, Part 3, Life and Death. Written by Michael Giglio. Based off of a treatment by Guillermo del Toro. Adapted, directed, and edited by Matthew Dawson. Starring Matthew Dawson as the narrator, Paul Delarosse as Constantine, Rebecca Olivia Hodges as Zatanna, Joshua Crawford as Jason Blood, Mackenzie McClure as Deadman, Gerald Hill as Swamp Thing, Mikel Casanova as the Floronic Man, Alexis Vandam as Clarion, and Chris Johnson as the security guard. This project was made in effort by Mortalverse Audio Dramas and our volunteering associates. It has no affiliation with Warner Brothers or DC or their characters. This project was made by the fans, for the fans, to show our appreciation towards this world. This project has been released for free. Thank you to everyone who helped bring this project to life. Mortalverse Audio Dramas will always be appreciative of your time and dedication to this project.